Last week we talked about regular and irregular nouns. This week we're going to be talking about regular and irregular verbs. Verbs show action. Words like talk, dance, run, and sing are all verbs. Verbs can also show a state of being. Is, am, was, and were are all being verbs. Verbs can also be regular and irregular. Remember that regular means that it follows the rules. Last week when we talked about nouns, we said that regular nouns changed from singular to plural by adding the S. But we also talked about a lot of irregular nouns that change from singular to plural in a lot of different ways. When we talk about regular and irregular verbs, we are usually talking about how they change their form depending upon the time. For instance, when regular verbs change from the present tense to the past, they add an ed. Like talk in the present becomes talked in the past. Jump in the present becomes jumped in the past. Walk in the present, I walked today, becomes I walked in the past, yesterday. Now dance is a little tricky. It basically still follows the rules. It's regular, but we have to do something simple before we add the ed. We have to take out that extra e. But it still becomes danced. I danced in the past. Irregular words, on the other hand, irregular verbs, do something totally different. They don't add the ed. Let's look at some examples. Present tense, I talk. Now, today. Present means right now. I talked yesterday in the past. This is a special form of past tense called the past participle. And it happens when you use the word have or had. I have talked in the past, or I had talked in the past. And this is regular. But verbs that are irregular don't just add the ed. They do all sorts of crazy things, just like the irregular nouns. For example, in the present, today I do. In the past, I did my homework. In the past participle form of the verb, it says, I have done my homework in the past, or I had done my homework in the past. I write today. I wrote yesterday. I have written in the past. I catch a ball today. I caught a ball yesterday, and I have caught a ball in the past. Sometimes it just changes from past to present. It just changes once. It has like just two forms, catch, caught, caught. But some of the irregulars have three different forms, depending on the past tense being used. Just like with irregular and regular nouns, irregular verbs can be tricky, but the more you practice with them and the more you read, the quicker you'll pick up on the difference between them. Now you need to take out your paper and work on your do notes. Remember that you're going to tell the definition of irregular and regular verbs, and you might put some examples of regular verbs in their present past and past participle, and irregular verbs in their present past and past participle. And think really hard about, why do you think we need to know this? Why is it even important that we study this? When you finish with your notes, you're going to put them in the purple folder in your class tray and mark off your name. Then you can go on to the horseshoe table to work on your lesson application. I can't wait to see the good work that you do this week.